Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more StarCraft 2. Now this is a game that I played a couple of days ago. It is indeed in the new season that recently started and this is one of the new maps. Now I actually already forgot the map name, but I really don't feel like starting this castle all over again. In this game I go for a wonky strategy, okay? Every now and then I am in the mood to, you know, just play wonky strategies. Every now and then I off-raise, every now and then I go for Baneling Bust every single game, every now and then I go for Nidus Networks every single game, but this time around I'm trying to come up with a new timing attack. Now I am obviously aware that this timing attack is pretty awful. It will barely ever work unless your opponent doesn't scout it or he's just so caught off guard that he's like, what in the heck is actually happening in this game? Now, this is one of these games where I decide to go for a very, very wonky strategy that isn't really supposed to work, but kind of does work in the end. Because I'm going for a Zergling speed +1/+1 timing attack. And yes, you heard that right, Zergling speed timing attack. Meaning that I don't get Zergling speed until very late into this game. Obviously, opening up myself in this build order for pretty much any kind of earlier game aggression from my opponent called Pika. Pika or Pika? I think it's Pika from like Pikachu. But anyway, I'm going for a weird strategy. Every now and then I'm in the mood to do so, and every now and then I would advise you to do that as well. Just try wonky strategies, okay? It will help your game a whole lot. It's a lot of fun to try that as well. And, you know, it just shows you why... Also, like, why good builders, why solid build orders are actually, you know, solid in the first place. Because sometimes you just sort of forget why standard build orders are standard. And even like old build orders sometimes work. For example, what I've been doing a little bit recently is doing some 14 gas, 14 spawning pool play. And I gotta be honest, like, it works out quite well about half of the time. Anyway, I went for a hatchery right there first. And I followed it up with a spawning pool. I just now scouted, but my opponent went for the exact opposite. I saw him throw down the hatchery when I threw down my own spawning pool. So that means he went for a pool into a hatch, giving a slight, tiny advantage to me. Nothing too big so far, but on this map, it is a new map, and I'm not completely sure if I can fly in the Overlord right now into my opponent's main, so I'm a bit hesitant, just scouting the gas, and I'm like, okay, I've got to get the fuck out of here. Don't want to lose my first Overlord to just a early queen that pops out. I don't know exactly how it lines up on this map, but as you can see on the production tab, turns out his queen wasn't really finished yet, but I couldn't I couldn't really fly it in all too much. Now I decided to go for a gas geyser once the spawning pool finishes, and I'm gonna go for double queen very shortly. Now keep in mind that my opponent is still a Master League player, right? My opponent is definitely not a bad player whatsoever. We scouted that he went for a gas geyser, so it does allow him to go for a couple of aggressive build orders, but I know it is not an extremely early gas, okay? It's not like a 15 pool 15 gas or a 15 pool like 14 gas or something extremely aggressive like that. We just are aware that's pretty standard by him, nothing too aggressive and nothing too amazing. And I know for a fact that I'm probably gonna have Zergling speed right around the same time as him, if I, let's say, obviously would have gone for that. And he knows that as well right now. He knows, he scouted my gas geyser, he knows that I got the gas geyser at a very standard time, so he doesn't really need to worry either. Now, we're both sort of going in macro mode right now, but as you can see on the production tab, he has started his Zergling speed a whole lot earlier than mine. And I'm just about to mine 100 gas, okay? Here's what's gonna happen. Instead of actually going for Zergling speed right now, I decide to be a bit cheeky. And I'm gonna get an evolution chamber very shortly. I believe I actually need to be getting it right now. Might actually be messing up a wonky build order. Lowko, what is happening? You're never supposed to mess up wonky build orders. Might actually go for the double upgrade at once. Yeah, there we go. So I'm selecting drones. Yep, gonna pop down my first evo chamber, which is very awkward. And I'm gonna start a second one very shortly as well as another gas geyser. Now keep in mind, my link speed still has not started. So we are 6 minutes into the game. I have made like 2 Zerglings so far, 3 Zerglings so far, very few amounts. I got double Evo going up, no Roach Warrants, and I really don't have anything. So this will most likely never really work, okay? Like, gotta keep that in mind. If you ever want to try this out, by all means, have fun while doing so. But keep in mind that it likely will not work. His link speed already finished up. As you can see, actually, those are mine Zerglings that I'm creating right now, but as you can see, I am a little bit worried right now of my going for a lot of aggression. I am starting my +1/+1, but still, Zergling speed is not even started yet. +1/+1 is on the way though. So here we go. Gonna be starting up my Zergling speed right now. 7 minutes into the game is when link speed started. Got +1/+1 on the way. And I am gonna start pumping out a ton of Zerglings very shortly. This is extremely tricky, okay? So basically what I've done so far is go for a standard build order, go for double upgrades, then go for Zergling speed, and now I start pumping out only Zerglings. Now if you take a look at these upgrades so far, as you can see, these will actually finish up right around the same time. So this one is about 100 seconds from finishing. My Zergling speed is a little bit less from finishing, meaning that as soon as I move out when link speed finishes up, these upgrades will be finished by the time I reach his base, or at least somewhere around that time. So what I'm doing right now is just make non-stop Zerglings, and I have decided to go for this uber cheeky strategy, whereas my opponent is going, as you can see on the production tab, let's have actually a look at his base, it's just this super standard play. He's getting a third base up right now, getting double upgrades, going for the lair, going for the roach warren, so very standard play by my opponent, but I'm just still messing out Zerglings. Still just messing out Zerglings. Link speed still needs to finish up. I'm actually hiding so many at the back of my base, trying to knock down these rocks to actually potentially make the attack path between the two bases a lot smaller. Link speed is about to finish up, however, and I am gonna go for it. I have 75 Zerglings right now. We'll be able to produce even more right now, and I should be going, Lowko. Don't miss the timing window. There we go. Boom. Running across the map right now with a ton of Zerglings. Look at this. +1/+1 is just now finishing up, okay? +1 attack is about 7 seconds from finishing. +1 armor is already done. So I am just gonna go for it. Now, how does this work? Versus roaches? No idea, so we're gonna figure it out together. Now, I've been creating Zerglings for the longest time, so I just have a ton of stuff. Running a couple into the main, running a couple into the natural, running a couple into the third, and he is just like, holy shit, what the fuck? Is this a +1/+1 speed Zergling timing attack? And yes, it is. So keep in mind, this strategy is awful. You should really not be winning with this unless you manage to catch your opponent off guard and your opponent is playing very macro heavy in the early part of the game. Alright, thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000.